So today I just want to talk about um, my perspective, okay? Just my perspective. I feel strongly about this perspective, I'm going to be honest, about the different paths to spirituality. And what I mean by that is just the different ways that people practice from different cultures. You have Voodoo, you have Voodoo, you have Santeria, you have Yoruba, some people call it Ifa, you have Hoodoo, you have Hinduism, you have Buddhism, and so many other things that I can't even just call off the top of my head, right? And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I consider myself the pieces of the light and I work with the gods of the light. Well, the gods of the light, which I cannot disclose to you, are from all different spiritual systems, okay? Before I even was initiated as a priestess of the light, I gave reverence in the different systems, okay? So what you have to understand is that these spiritual systems are very culture based. They're very culture based and very region based. Yes, you have pagan, you have Wiccan also, like it's mentioned here in the comments. So it's very much so based off a cultural background. It's based off a culture that was built in a particular region. So in some regions you will see that there are just similarities in what's practiced, and then in some regions they practice multiple things, even Christianity and Hinduism. I found out about 2 years ago that in India that they practice Christianity there. They don't only just practice Hinduism, and I forgot the other spiritual system, starts with a J, that they practice there. But my previous boss was from India, and she told me that when they grew up, there was different religions and spiritual systems around them. And in their culture, they allowed the child or the individual to choose which one fit them. They allowed them to learn, allow them to decide which one fits for them. They didn't just automatically impose a spiritual system on their children based off their personal beliefs. And I thought that was pretty cool. So this is, like I said, this is my perspective and my belief, and I feel strongly about it, okay? The more a god or goddess is worked with, the more they are prayed to, the more they have incantations said to them, the more they are chanted to, the stronger the energy is for them, okay? Also, I'm going to tell you that you did not only live in this lifetime. You did not only live in one culture. We have lived multiple lifetimes in multiple cultures, which is why we are sometimes drawn to things from other cultures than what we are physically this lifetime, okay? I know that there are people that say out there that certain groups of people aren't supposed to practice certain type of magic, etc., etc. I believe that is false. I am against that. I don't believe it's true at all. Now, what I do believe is that you should follow your intuition. You should follow what you're guided towards, okay? There is some magic that may not be for you, but your intuition will tell you that. I don't think my perspective, and like I said, I feel strongly about this, is not based off your culture this lifetime, okay? It is just not. That actually cuts you off from your power. That cuts you off from having access to certain things. Some of you that know your spiritual parents aren't even a part of the culture that you're living in this lifetime. Neither one of my spiritual parents are. One of my spiritual parents is from a culture that doesn't even exist anymore. Okay? Something that is very ancient and not even practiced anymore. Okay? So understand that you've lived multiple lifetimes and multiple cultures, multiple races, okay? Now, I don't really like to get into the race thing because people get sensitive about it. But the reality of it is, when you're talking in spirituality and in spiritual form, let's come out the physical. When I go into the spiritual world in the spiritual form, when I'm there, you are human or you're not. The other beings don't look at whether you're black, white, Asian. They don't look at that. They don't look at that at all. That is a very low vibrating and petty way to try to differentiate humans. Humans are humans. Humans have the same tendencies. They have the same ways of doing things. And the gods and goddesses look at the human race as a human race. Okay? And like I said, I feel very strongly about this. I do. Neither one of my spiritual parents are in from any African descent spiritual system at all. And I have very strong connections to them. Do I have connections to gods and goddesses from African spiritual systems? Yes, because I have built relationships over many lifetimes with them. I've built relationships with these gods and goddesses even not in the physical form, in between lifetimes, okay? So I want to speak about it because I don't want you to feel shame. I don't want you to feel guilt. I don't want anybody to bully you into thinking that you can't practice what your divine intuition is telling you you can practice, okay? So don't let anybody tell you that a particular method is for you based off your culture, based off your sex, based off your age, based off, you know, your sexual orientation, whatever it is to divide us. All those things are created to divide humans. And when the humans are divided, it creates chaos. Chaos is of the dark energy. Chaos is of a lower vibration. Period, point blank. There is nothing good that comes out of chaos. Chaos does not breed good stuff. To create chaos and separation is to have disconnect. As we talk about reading Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly, when she talks about, we read on Mondays, when she talks about the disengagement. When you start categorizing and separating people based off age, sex, race, spiritual system, all of that stuff, there's a disengagement. There's no connection there. Okay? So like I said, I feel very strongly about that. Whatever your spirit is drawn to. And some of you have gotten readings from me over the last few months, and you specifically asked me about your spiritual parents. Most of you have spiritual parents that aren't even in your culture this lifetime. Okay, you are bigger than what you are right now in the physical. And you have to understand that, okay? I have been studying and working through these spiritual systems for over 11 years, okay? Yes, I started off with Christianity, but I didn't grow up in a very strict Christian household. The conversations were very open. The conversations were very out of the box, stuff that we wouldn't even talk about in church. And this is from my mom and this is from my grandmother, okay? So I've never been restricted in that, all right? Never been restricted. So then, like I said, some of you that know, I came to college, and that's when I met my first spiritual teachers that taught me about different gods and goddesses, how to read and stuff like that. So don't let anybody tell you that, okay? You are bigger than what you're living this lifetime. Your soul, okay, has lived many lives. Your soul has lived in many cultures, some cultures that have died, okay? There are some gods and goddesses that people don't even remember. There are some gods and goddesses that humans don't even remember because the culture has died, right? If you've ever just been drawn to a particular practice, you've been drawn to a culture. A lot of times we are drawn to something when we see it in entertainment, when we see it in a movie, when we see it just depicted in art or whatever it is. You're drawn for a reason. Your soul remembers that, okay? If you are practicing a spirituality and you're drawn to different gods and goddesses, like I said, of different spiritual systems, is for a reason. You've lived many lifetimes, okay? And I just want those of you that have been ridiculed, those of you that have experienced shame and guilt because you decide or you've been drawn to deities in different religions, okay? I've seen it on the internet where people bash you and try to say, oh, a white person can't work with certain Ifa and Yoruba gods and goddesses because they're white. That's what they are this lifetime, okay? And like I said, a lot of people are going to not agree with me. But your soul is not tied to a particular sex. Your soul is not tied to a particular culture. Your soul is not tied to a particular region. Your soul has lived many lifetimes. Like I said, your soul has been part of cultures that don't even exist anymore. A lot of y'all are very old, especially if you're practicing spirituality. for those people that have gotten introduced to Christianity and things like that, that's a very new spiritual system. That is very, very young compared to all these other spiritual systems. There are spiritual systems that have completely died, okay? Completely have died. So when your intuition is guiding you, you feel drawn to a particular deity, you feel drawn to it, follow that, okay? Follow that. Follow while you're drawn. Study it, okay? Find a professional, somebody that has mastered it. If it's a particular spiritual system, find somebody that has mastered it, okay? I heard yesterday, somebody said a line. Actually, I think it was Kevin Gates. No, it was Jay Electronica. Jay Electronica said, in order for you to be a master, you must succumb to a master, okay? Something along the lines, don't quote me, but the purpose of what he's saying is that you have to follow a master before you master something, before you become a master yourself. I've had many spiritual teachers over the years, okay? Many spiritual teachers in different spiritual systems, and they taught me about those particular spiritual systems. So if you're drawn to something, right, follow your intuition. Find somebody that has mastered that particular spiritual system, especially if you're really, really drawn to the system as a whole. Okay? I have had a spiritual teacher in Yoruba who took the time to teach me lots of stuff about the spiritual system. A lot of stuff, okay? A lot of stuff. So I currently have a spiritual teacher who has had multiple masters in different spiritual systems, and he teaches on all of those spiritual systems, right? I had a spiritual teacher that was just into spiritual systems that were of African descent. Yes. So follow your intuition. Find somebody that has mastered it and that is a master, and learn from them, okay? I have over 11 years experience, right? But I honestly am a priestess, but I do not say that I am a master yet. I still have much learning to do. A lot of the masters that I know and that I've learned from are in their 60s, okay? 50s and 60s, and have been practicing for a long time, a very, very long time. So don't let anybody make you feel ashamed if you're drawn to a different cultural deity, okay? Don't do that, all right? The thoughts on race is a way to divide the humans and to create chaos. It creates disengagement. It creates separation, okay? So I don't indulge in it at all. If anything, the division should be between the light and the dark, okay? There are dark entities that are in all cultures. There are dark entities that are posed as humans in all cultures. That is the differentiation. The light beings and the dark beings. That's how it's looked at in the spiritual world, okay? And I've said multiple times, and I'm going to read your comments. I've said multiple times, there's so much bigger things going on than what the petty stuff the humans get caught up in the physical, and it's for distracting. It's for distracting, it's for chaos, it's to create war amongst each other. Now I understand that there's some pain. I understand there's some historical things that has happened with us humans. But at some point, you have to realize that was created, right? You have to realize that it was created as a distraction. It was created to make you disengage. And I'm not telling you got to gauge with everybody, but you don't have to put your energy in disengagement. You don't have to put your energy into chaos. Okay? Do not restrict yourself in that form and fashion. So let me go ahead and read the comments because I know I was talking a lot. So do we have different lifetimes equal to our human age, or how does that work? It just depends. You know, when I do readings, I can tell if a person is an old soul or not, or they live many lifetimes, okay? I will say this, okay? Some people live many lifetimes because they are here to help others. Some people live many lifetimes because they just won't learn the lessons that they're supposed to for their soul to evolve. The purpose of living life is to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. So when you're living a life, you're supposed to evolve. Your soul is supposed to evolve. For those of you that have been following with me, y'all have grown so much in the past 9 to 10 months. You feel better as you grow. It's no different than the trees. It's no different than the plants. It's no different than anything else on earth. It continues to grow and expand. So do we, and so do our souls. That is the purpose of living multiple lifetimes. Some people just don't get lessons right away, and it's okay. That's between you and the gods and goddesses. So how many lifetimes you've lived, which cultures you've been in, those are kind of things that I can do in a general reading. Which, by the way, my general readings are 50% off for the rest of the year. So these are the kind of questions that I can find out during those readings, okay? I'm so happy you brought this up. My spiritual parents are of different religions, and I was a little confused as to how to honor them. So I'm glad you brought that up. So you can honor them based off how they honored in their culture. This is why you get to know them. Okay, this is why you get to understand them. This is why you meditate. This is why you talk to them. You put them on the altar. Now you can do, I'm not a fan of following everything on the internet, but I will say go ahead and look up offerings that they like. If you have some spiritual parents or deities that are very old and they don't have necessarily offerings you can give them because they're not a god that is popular per se, just look up their stories and see what it is that they like. If you're not sure in that way, meditation and prayer. And you may not get an answer right away, but start. And while you're doing that to find out what they specifically like, you can just give them a little bit of the food that you eat every day. And I've said this before too. Whatever you eat for dinner or for breakfast, just give a little bit to the altar every day. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just give them a little bit. The gods and goddesses do not need food to sustain themselves. They are very powerful beings. The offering is a form of humility. The offerings are a form of me offering something in exchange for you assisting me, in exchange for us connecting. Okay, it's just a form of humility, and just giving honors for what they do. So, for example, I'm going to use this. The Jade Emperor. When you speak to the Jade Emperor, he's an emperor. In that culture, when you come to a king or you come to the emperor, you come on your knees with your head bowed. If you ever watch some of the ancient type shows, Game of Thrones or Genghis Khan or those things, when they approach a king or emperor, they come on the knees with their head low. They don't even looking at you. So when you go and pray to the Jade Emperor, that is a practice, as an example, that you would do because that's a cultural thing. That is how it's done. So it takes some time, right? If all else fails, always get on your knees and pray to the gods and goddesses as just a basic form. It is a learning experience. Pray for somebody to teach you in that. Also, in my general readings, if there's particular things that a god or goddess wants, because I have those connections, I can ask what it is that they want for an offering and let you know what they like in particular. Okay. I did some research on your gods and goddesses, and most of them go back to paganism, and I was shocked. And my mom is Hindu culture. Yeah, it's very interesting when you go and look at the history. A lot of gods and goddesses are also forgotten about, right? Just because cultures have died. But it's very interesting, and it's a journey. It's not a destination, it's a journey, okay? It is a journey. I know some people will say, oh, if you do something like this, they're going to retaliate and blah, blah, blah. The thing is if you're humble and if you go with respect, okay? If you get on your knees and go with respect, they know that you're doing the best that you can. You know what I mean? They know what effort you're putting in or not. Now, if you're just trying to throw something together because you want somebody to just, oh, I just need you to do this. I need this guy to do that. Oh, they know that too. They can read your thoughts. They can read your thoughts. They can read all of that. There's nothing you can hide from them. Okay, so I've also said that some gods and goddesses watch you for a long time before they even talk to you. My spiritual father talked to me for the first time this year. He's been on my altar since 2017. I also have Mars on my altar since 2017, and I have not had communications with him directly yet, but I still give reverence to him. He's still on my altar. I still respect him as a warrior. When the time comes or when he sees fit to open that channel for me, then we'll open that channel. And it also depends on my, how I evolve, right? So, wow, I came in here exactly when I need to hear this. Yes. The book Many Lies, Many Masters, I think it's called. Yes. I consider you a teacher for sure. I've learned a whole heap of things since meeting you in March, and I'm forever grateful. Yes, I'm a teacher and I'm a priestess, but I'm not a master. A mastery comes with age, okay? That's just something, this just something that happens with age. I don't even have all parts of my soul in my physical form yet. There's different parts of your soul that come into your body as you get older and as you evolve, okay? So I will not be considered a master for a while, and I'm okay with that. I don't take it as a negative thing. I understand the journey. I understand the evolution. And I like where I'm at, and I like the development that I'm making. Am I a teacher? Yes, I can teach because I've learned so much in 11 plus years. I have so much to teach about. I have so much to share with people. So I teach. And I am a priestess of multiple spiritual systems, by the way. And I've been priest and priestesses multiple lifetimes, okay? Can you create an altar for all the spiritual parents you're drawn to? Yes. I have multiple deities on one altar, okay? Now, you do have to understand which deities like to be together and which don't, which deities like to be by themselves. That's part of the journey, okay? That's some of the stuff that you can look up on the internet that I know is okay to look at. My aunt likes space by herself. Oshun typically likes space by herself. There are particular gods and goddesses that like their own designated spaces, okay? Look into that. There's particular gods and goddesses that don't want to share a space with each other, and that's okay, okay? It's just the energies. And a lot of times, you know, you will hear people talk about it in a negative way, and it's not necessarily a negative way. It's just how they work. It's their energy force, and certain energy forces coming together is not the best. Okay, let me give you this example. Steven Universe. If any of you ever watched Steven Universe, it's about gems. It's a cartoon. Listen, cartoons have so much knowledge in it about spirituality, but it's about different gems, and they have fusion gems where two gems will come together and fuse, right? So certain gems and certain things won't fuse, or if they fuse, they turn into other things. That's how I personally think of the gods and goddesses. That's how I understand whether they should be joined on the altar or not. Is how is this fusion of energy going to work together? For example, my warriors, I keep the warriors, particular warriors together. Some warriors aren't on that altar, but my warriors stay together because they work together in a very unique way. The healers are together. They work in a unique way. My prosperity, some of my prosperity gods and goddesses together. Some of them aren't. Some of them are actually with the healers. So I have a warrior goddess segment. She's a healer, but she's a warrior. I have her with the warriors instead of with the healers. That's some of the things that you can look up online. That's some of the things you can pray and meditate about, right? It's about the journey, okay? Can you create, yeah, we read that. So can I put something related to my ruling planets too? Okay, so let me go into that. Planets are living things. They're organisms. They are energy force. Planets, stars. We are stars, okay? We are stars within ourselves. That's why you have a light. That's why you radiate a light, hence the, you know, my nice little filter. So we have internal suns, we have internal stars, okay? Stars are working to develop into a sun, right? That's where you're evolving your soul. Planets, stars, suns, they have souls, okay? They are intelligent beings, okay? So yes, you can, if you are drawn to a particular planet's energy, it's for a reason, okay? Saturn is a god in a planet. On my altar, okay? A lot of the planets are gods and goddesses, okay? And I know this may sound abstract to some of you that's listening, and that's okay, okay? We have to expand our consciousness and stop being so little, and think of the world around you and yourself as expansive things, okay? Intelligent, expansive things. I mean, honestly, plants are smarter than humans. because of our consciousness limiting us, our non-belief in so many things, our skepticism, all of that keeps you stuck. That doesn't allow you to grow. That doesn't allow you to think outside of the box. That doesn't allow you to connect with things outside of self, especially through meditation. Okay, so yes, you can. If you are drawn to a planet's energy, yes, you can. Okay, I have particular recordings from Tybro.com, which I speak about because that's the my spiritual master's business is Tybro. He has recordings of stars, planets for you to connect to them. Some of the stars will bless you with prosperity energy. Some of the planets will bless you with healing energy. They are more than just something sitting up there in the sky. Okay, much bigger than that. You have to allow your consciousness to expand. You have to allow yourself to expand out of this basic human physical experience. It's okay, it's cool, but the spiritual world and the world outside of Earth is so much more expansive, okay? So much more expansive. Don't allow the world to restrict you, okay? There's a lot of programming, there's a lot of restriction, there's a lot of lower level energy. You have to understand that dark and light entities exist in on the earth, okay? And the purpose of the dark energy is to keep you from your light. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do, and they're supposed to exist for a reason. So you can't destroy it, because if dark doesn't exist, light doesn't exist. It has to exist. It's just understanding it and understanding that there's misinformation, there's miseducation, there's misprogramming, and it's done to keep you from your light, keep you from your power. There's so much power in the things around you, okay? So much power. So this is true. I'm praying for discipline, focus, and consistency right now. It's a journey, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. It's a journey. Start small and then expand. You don't have to have all the deities, everything. You don't have to have everything right now. I have 20 gods and goddesses in my altar room, which I just expanded to this. I did not have a space this big ever, okay? And it's going to grow, and I want it to grow. And they're like, no, wait. Because it is, I need to wait, okay? And then I continue to expand as I grow. Because like I said, some of the gods and goddesses have not even spoken to me directly yet. And I'm still working on evolving as a person. And I don't, like I said, I don't take it personal. It's just part of the process. I got the recording for Jupiter and some other planets for prosperity. Yes, the regular star is a prosperity star. Jupiter is a prosperity planet. So they will give you the energy of prosperity. They will give you the energy of love. Venus is a goddess and a planet. The energy of love. They will give you the energy of good health, okay? Don't let school's programming, oh, these are just planets in the sky. Like, I think they say Pluto is not a planet anymore. That's what I just do. Pluto's not a planet anymore. Pluto's a planet, okay? Pluto's an intelligent being. You don't demote an expansive, intelligent being. That's just how I feel about it. That's something I've discovered about myself. I want it all now, which is teaching me patience. I can say during my spiritual journey, the biggest thing that I've learned is patience. Divine timing is everything. Divine timing is everything. The things that you want and desire want you just as much, okay? That's taught in law of attraction, okay? But that is a true universal law. It is divine timing. It's about lining up, and it's simultaneously in the right moment and right time. I've learned so much patience on this spiritual journey. I don't have to do everything now, but I've also learned effective action. You don't just sit around and do nothing, okay? You move when the energy, when the life force, when the spirit energy moves you to do something, you flow with it and move, because that's lining you up with divine timing. That's lining you up with divine timing for sure. So that's why it's about the journey, not just about the destination. The journey is very, very important. Like just learning patience, learning how to tend to an altar, learning how to hear. I wouldn't be able to do the readings the way I did if it wasn't for the journey. You know, my hearing expands more and more. My sight expands more and more. It's a journey, and you grow and you evolve. You grow and you evolve over time, okay? I be calculating every day now. It's honestly comedy to me. Yes, good afternoon. It is afternoon officially. Good afternoon to those of you that just came in. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's not much to say. It's not a whole bunch to get into. It just is what it is. Follow your intuition. Follow your spirit's guidance, okay? Follow it. That's something that I've also learned having spiritual teachers. Because all of our souls are very different. You know, I've had a spiritual teacher tell me one thing and that's so forbidden. But my spirit is like, no, this is what we're going to do. And when I followed my spirit, things fell into in alignment, okay? Because a lot of this stuff is very traditional. You know, in spiritual systems too, you have to understand it, and that things evolve, people evolve, magic evolves, it evolves, it doesn't stay the same. These systems are old. So follow your intuition, okay? Follow your intuition. Pray, meditate, make sure you stay connected, make sure you're doing things from a pure place and a pure heart. Don't shame yourself, don't blame yourself, don't guilt yourself. You know, tap into the higher vibrational energy of peace and love and tranquility and happiness. Tap into that energy. That's why you hear me talk about also working on your emotional self, because that ties you to your power. Lower vibrating emotions, which we have, because like I said, without darkness, light doesn't exist. We all have the lower part of ourselves. We're all made of dark and light energy. We have things that we held on to. But as you work through that, you'll tap into your higher self, you'll tap into your higher energy, and you'll tap into your magic, okay? You'll tap into your magic. So, yes, today is better for me. Yesterday I was hard, but I found my strength. That was good. Yes, we did pray for you yesterday, Brittany, about your father going into the home. I'm glad that it's getting better. And just give yourself time. You look like a beam of light. Thank you so much, Shalana. It's the filter, but I thought it was nice with my goddess dress. So, like I said, I don't have much to say. I know some of you came in late. I'm going to be putting this on YouTube. I did post yesterday's on YouTube. A little delay with Mondays, but it will get on there. All right. I'm going to get it there. That's my goal, and that's what I'm going to do. So this video will be on YouTube for you to go back and listen to and enjoy. Somebody's pulling up in front of my home. Not sure who that is. But I want you all to have a beautiful day, a blessed day. And just know that today's a good day, and each day gets better and better. Each day gets better and better and better. And I appreciate all of you for always being here and listening and allowing me to be me. All right? So y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.